A big thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video.
Oh my word, this looks so good over here. Right, I need to get my camera, come over. Oh, that looks good there as well. Oh my word, this is so good.
We may have it all, up the ladder, down the road.
Well, morning everybody, fantastic to see you all again. I'm so excited. I've finally made it to the lakes. And it's the first time I've been here since the beginning of April, I think. And I've got to admit, it was pretty tough driving up here, but made it. And I am currently at a favourite location. And I'll tell you where that is when we get a little bit further up. I'm here with my dad, who's my camera assistant. So Rick might be out of a job soon. We'll see how we go. But yeah, I think it's going to work pretty well. And I'm walking just with my 24 to 200mm lens. I'm going to go light a lot of the time because I don't want to carry much because of my back, and I'm just going to take it super easy. And yeah, it's cloudy, it's going to rain, typical Lake District weather. Can't wait.
Different mysteries, full life mixed with tears. We are happy most of the time.
Right, we are just getting a little bit higher now, and it's got a little bit lighter. I don't know if there's going to be much for sunrise. It's about 15 minutes before sunrise, but God, it's so nice to be in the Lake District. It's so beautiful here. When you've not been here for a while, you just forget just how amazing it is. Right, so we're aiming probably another 10 minutes of walking, and we should have a good view. Fingers crossed. Well, so I've underestimated how far it was on this walk. We are still another probably 15 minutes to get to the top, and there's amazing light up above. The fun of landscape photography, chasing the light. I've missed it so much. Anyway, I'm sure I'll find something. There's always something. And sorry for my heavy breathing. I am not as fit as I used to be, but we're getting there. So, note to self, always set off earlier than you think you need to. Why can I never remember that? But just look at the sky up here, it looks amazing. You see it? Look at that! But I'm just about keeping up with my dad. He's setting the pace, he's just making me feel good now just by letting me go in front for a second. Okay, so there's a tree that I've seen just here. So I'm going to head for that tree, and I think there'll be a good view up here as well. So I might be able to include the tree in the shot, but if not, I think, as I'll show you in a second, the view's going to be pretty spectacular. Never been on this bit of rock, but if I show you this, are you ready? It's pretty cool. And the cloud up there looks amazing as well. There we go. Right, so I just go a bit higher. So I thought it was on the right hill, but let's climb up here. As it happens, I was on the hill just over there, and I need to be on the hill just here because there's a wall and a fence and a gate and a stile that I want to go up. So hopefully won't be there too long and be able to catch the sun coming out because there's some amazing rays, but I need to be this high. I think. What a nightmare. Oh, this is good. Right, come on Nigel, you can do it. Not far now. I am unfit. Oh, the sheep are looking at me as well. Just show you the amazing light. Look at that. That looks incredible.
And we get along better than fine. Left and right we
Right, well, This is amazing. Just about made it for the sun coming out. I can't be long on this style, but I need to take some photos. But oh my word, this looks so good over here. Right, I need to get my camera, come over. Oh, that looks good there as well. Oh my word, this is so good. Let me just show you the view. This is epic.
Now we swear it's easy. Either way.
And that view that way looks really good. Oh, this is good, this is good. Yes! So we have the sun on this rock, and it sort of leads you through. The sun on the grasses in the foreground lead you through all the way down past the sheep to the other rocks into the distant mountains. The cloud is perfect. This side light is really important. It just adds something to the image. So the sun's over there. I'm shooting at sort of 90 degrees to it, and it is unbelievable. It doesn't get better than this. Yes! Right, back to my camera. Oh, take the photo, take the photo, take the photo.
We are happy most of the time, and we get along better than fine. Left and right we braid, through the ups and downs we swear. It's easy, either way.
Okay, so hopefully I'm just going to walk this way around. You can see I'm just recording on this here, the rays that are coming out over there. The mountains over there aren't amazing, but these rays are quite nice, and I'm just trying to pick out with the long lens, which is the advantage of taking the 24-200. Just those rays over there just look amazing, as you can see at the moment. What I like about coming to the top of a mountain or a hill is just that panoramic view is just always so incredible. You can pick out things tight, you can get wide angle shots, you can find foreground. Oh, this is, oh, I love this so much. I've missed this so much. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Right, these rays are just getting better and better, so I'm trying to photograph them, and what's really important with this is just to try and avoid any distraction. So you can see, if I just show you the screen now, so I don't want that distraction at the top there. I'm just trying to cut that out, but I'm also trying to shoot at a reasonable shutter speed as well, because I think it's important, you know, even with on the tripod it's shaking, so I'm holding the tripod and then trying to shoot at like 500th of a second. It's not really a problem if I up my ISO here. Oh my god, it looks good now. Right, I'm just going to take this shot. Hey, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to zoom in, and can you see I'm just going to go quite tight and give it a little room on the right hand side there. So I think that shot there is going to look pretty good. I'm at ISO 64, probably okay actually at ISO 64, and I'm at 1/250th of a second, and I don't want to blow out the highlights because this is just going to be all about the details in the highlights on this shot. It's probably just want to give it a lot of room on the right hand side for those rays to go into. I think that's really important. And then the other thing to do when you're doing this is just make sure that you check your shots. You know, you've not made any stupid mistake. It's so easy just to quickly zoom in, have a look, make sure they're sharp. Got it. Oh my word, the rays now are just looking so incredible just over there. So I've just taken a picture here of this shot with, you know, the light just catching off here and the wall, but it just keeps getting better and better. I can't believe it. Oh, this is so amazing. Yes. Right, I think I'll probably just take that shot again. I'll probably handhold and get a little bit higher if I can. And now I've got to have my coffee because it's poured and it's going cold, which is not good. Whew, finally sat down with my coffee and my digestive. You've got to dunk your digestive, haven't you? Now, I have got an apple as well, but you can't beat a digestive in your coffee, can you? Hobnobs, they're the best. Hobnobs, just like, oh, you have hobnobs in America? Don't think you do. I don't think I'm going to be able to get up from here. It's okay. My 84-year-old assistant will help me. So this is the first time my dad's been up here, and he's lived in the Lake District pretty much for the last 30 years, so, and walked most of the fells. Okay, so in this shot, it's the same one as when I first arrived, when the light was a little bit warmer on these rocks. I've just moved around a little bit, but these grasses here are catching this side light and they look incredible because they're just sort of getting a raking light across them. So I've got those and I've positioned this rock so it's just got a little bit of space around it. I've done a vertical and a wide shot, and then in the background the clouds, because we've got these dark, low clouds that are sort of laden with water. I suspect there's going to be a rain shower at any moment. It looks epic. It doesn't get better than this. Did I say that? It just doesn't get better than this. T-shirts coming soon, by the way. Yep. Well, that was the most incredible morning on a fell I've had in a long time, and it was fantastic to share it with my dad. What was fantastic was the ability to use this 24 to 200mm lens, because this is super light. I am going to have to use really light gear all the time at the moment with my back, and it is so good to be able to just carry this lens. The question is, how good is it? What am I compromising by taking this really flexible lens? Because it is, actually, just let me get the other lenses. So if I look at this and this, then if I want to go for the same focal range, then I've got to take my 70 to 200 and my 24 to 70, my lightest 24 to 70 lens. And that, I suspect it's about 3 kilograms, and I suspect that's about 800 grams, something like that. But obviously this is optically way better, and so is this, than this lens, which isn't an S-line lens. But flexibility is really important in photography, and having that ability to go places and travel a bit further and just also not have to change your lens is quite good as well. But I think to see how good the quality is, I need to print it out big, don't I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this photo, I'm going to go to print, and I've already set it up here. It is going to be printing 32 inches wide on my big printer behind. Okay, so because this is quite a big print, I think I'm going to have to go into my studio. We can look at it with a top-down camera and I can talk a little bit more about this, and we can look at the quality. Is it any good? Okay. Right, we've got that in here now and it looks spectacular. So what we need to know is, what's it like? I'm going to sort of look around it and just sort of think, is this good enough to go on my wall? Or more importantly, is this good enough to sell? Because at the end of the day, I'm a professional photographer. Would I sell this print? And I think the answer to both of those questions is I'd be happy, and yes, I would sell this print. I think, though, there are certain things on it that probably aren't quite as sharp as they would be if I took it with a dedicated lens like my 70-200 or my 24-70 f2.8 or f4. And it's sort of a game of diminishing returns, really. The big thing with this lens is that in the middle, so all this area here is pretty good. The contrast is good. There's no sort of chromatic aberration that I can see, and if there is, then it can be removed really easily. You can see that just all this detail here is incredible. If I just get this, you can see this area is just so good. The depth of field, this was just one shot, is pretty good, and I feel like the focus is just dropping off here in the wall. Because when I shot this, I shot it above my head, believe it or not. It shot at ISO 400 as well. And this is just dropping off a little bit, the focus here. I think there's some softness in the corners a little bit, but this doesn't matter, this doesn't matter, and this doesn't matter. So this is the only corner that matters. But it's sort of leads right in, and actually I'm not too bothered about it being a little bit soft in this corner, because I think the important area is this area, and then how it leads you through to here. So yeah, I'm really pleased with this image. There's lots to look at, and it looks spectacular. And I love printing. It just is so exciting printing. I've got another couple of prints to show you. If you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed, and 50% of people that watch these videos aren't, then just clicking that button makes such a big difference to my channel. So if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing. Right, let's have a look at these next two photos. Before I do that, I just want to thank Squarespace. If you're anything like me, you want to spend less time in front of a computer and more time taking photos like this, being out on the fells, and it's just way better. And Squarespace helps you do that. It's super easy to set up a website or a blog, upload your photos, and share your photos with others. If you're thinking of setting up a website to sell your prints, then it's easy because there's an online shop. And yeah, it's just a brilliant tool, as I've spoken about many times before. So thanks Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to set up your own website or domain, then you get 10% off using squarespace.com/Nigel or offer code Nigel. Right, let's have a look at these other photos. I just need to move this absolutely gigantic print out of the way. Just to show you how big it is. If I just move back, you can just probably get an idea there. It's huge. Okay, so we've got these two shots I want to show you here. This was with a longer length, so this was shot, I think it was around about 110 millimeters, if memory serves me right. I've cropped it a little bit as well, just from the top and bottom, because I felt like it just didn't need, it was more of a pano type shot. So I really like this because it's just so simple. I love how these two trees just sit nicely in that area there, and that was just luck really, because you couldn't really change that. I'd have to move a long way to change that. It's just reflecting the light off here, and I've just softened that down in Lightroom a little bit, and then we've got this really nice diffuse light down there, and it's just picking up some of the mountains in the background. Sometimes the simplest images are the best, but just, again, I'm singing the praises of this lens, but as somebody who can't carry a lot, it makes such a big difference to me. And then the other one was this shot here, which was a portrait shot. I liked the portrait version of this. In the video, you probably saw the landscape version as well. This was taken at the back end of the day, so when the light was getting slightly higher up. But I love these grasses here. It's windy, so they've moved a little bit, but I think that tells a little bit of a story. And then up to this rock here. I think there's a few things that maybe don't work brilliantly in this shot. I think this area, this top area is really nice, but I think this rock, I think it's just maybe just a bit too central, and it's just a bit of a nothing rock. I think in hindsight, I probably should have gone closer and made a bigger deal of this rock. I could have zoomed in, but I think going closer and having these grasses and this sort of area here maybe would have been a little bit better. But it was still a fantastic experience to be out. I'm quite pleased with this image.
And as I said last week, you always learn something, which is the best thing. I'd love to know what your favourite focal lengths are. You know, between 24 and 200, you know, what do you think they are? But a really interesting exercise is go to Lightroom and find what focal lengths you shoot most at. You'll be so surprised, because I thought that I shot at 24mm the most, but then when I looked at it, I shot quite a lot in those sort of mid-ranges, sort of 35 to 40mm. Okay, that's it. Mass is coming in a few days, and me, Mass and James are meeting up. We're going to Wales, we're going to the Lake District. We're going to hopefully produce some epic content. We're going to have to carry me up the mountain probably, but I'm sure it'll be great fun. And yeah, until next Sunday, bye.